Hey everyone, Josh here. I am coming at you dressed as Quick Change Bruce Wayne. You know, I'm a fan of the Kenner era Batman stuff. Well, we're waiting on people to have a chance to jump in. I should say, welcome, hello to all the new subscribers. We just like 2 weeks ago just hit 3,000, and now I'm almost like halfway to four now, which is amazing. So if you are new to the channel, I've got a ton of reviews. If you're new to the DC Multiverse, if you're new to McFarlane Toys, reviews going back pretty extensively through the past year plus now. So on my channel homepage, I've tried to organize those by like waves. So if you're kind of looking for just a specific era, Dom Life, what's up, man? Hey, I'm repping Quick Change Bruce Wayne today. Can't wait to talk to you about this movie. I think as we get going here in a little while, I'm going to open up this penguin here. I'll do a review of it eventually. Right now, I have reviews queued up through next Wednesday. A new review every day. So tons of new stuff coming, and actually, I will have videos through at least next Saturday by the time it's all said and done. Tons of new stuff coming out. And now I'm thinking, we'll do completely spoiler free today. And then next week we'll come back. I'll do the live stream on Wednesday, get back into that weekly schedule. And we'll do all spoilers. Give you guys a chance to see it, and then we can go real hard. Because I know a lot of people tell me that that they can't watch the live streams, but they do. When they're at home and they're in their toy room and they're working on their dios or whatever, they'll catch up on the archived streams. So I don't want them to be just playing this in the background while they're fidgeting with other stuff, and then all of a sudden I'm talking about, oh, I can't believe Kite Man showed up in the third act. Wow, so we'll keep it totally spoiler free, as much as I'm dying to talk about all the juicy deeds. Kendo, how's it going? Kendo, I got to tell you, man, very, very few times during that movie, I felt like I was thinking about the fact that I was watching Robert Pattinson. He's good, yeah. And he's Batman most of the movie. There's very little Bruce Wayne. So he's in that costume, or he's it shows up as Drifter quite a bit too. Those of you who were not sure about picking up that Drifter figure, you might want you might be like, well, actually, I'm into that look. El Mata. El Mata, this is the Keaton era Quick Change Bruce Wayne. So I've made this custom turtleneck with puffy paint. Yo, Sky Knight. Yo, CG Hunter, how's it going? CG Hunter, you're at school? Well, hey, hopefully you can pay attention to two things at once. And if not, you can copy somebody's notes later. Yeah, definitely lots of Batman in this movie. Try to kind of ease into talking about it too much, and I want to be able to think about kind of what I say, so I don't want anybody that's particularly sensitive. I don't want to ruin anything. You know what I mean? There's just like something I could tell you that I really liked, Well, yeah, I can tell you, like, one of my favorite parts, one of my favorite elements of like The Dark Knight, the movie specifically, is the editing. I think the editing is kind of one of the unsung heroes of that movie. And there's sequences, where multiple things, it's cross-cutting between multiple things at once. Like an obvious example is the charity fundraiser that's cross-cut with the assassinations. That's a great sequence. But one of my favorites is right after the robbery at the beginning. There's this really short. It's like probably 90 seconds. It's kind of just a bat signal montage, and it just has all these layers of things going on at once. It's got TV footage with the mayor. It's got people on the streets seeing the bat signal, and they're like, "No way, I'm not into it." And it just like there's a ton of information in a really short time, and it just the mood feels just right. Okay, well, this one has like a even better version, basically, of the bat signal montage. That's kind of just sort of like mood setting, and it was just like it felt as close as I've ever felt, probably in any Batman movie, to reading a comic book, especially one that is from the past 20 years or so. You know what I mean? Like um, the comic stuff that's post Nolan verse, um, you know, and I just generally like I'm really just relieved. I can tell you. I you know how I get kind of maybe not a little skeptical of like gritty and realistic, because to me in my head that means limiting. That means the harder you go gritty and realistic, it just means you're like in my head that you're closing yourself off to these amazing like potential fantastical Batman sort of scenarios and stuff that's kind of truer to the pretty dense canon of the comics. And watching this, I was like, oh shit, man, it's not like they're not closing off to that. Like it still feels like they could do whatever. It's gritty and realistic. It has a horror movie kind of vibe in certain parts, but it still feels like any moment somebody could come out and be a pretty fantastical character. Penguin really for me was my favorite part of the movie, and I wasn't getting my hopes up because I heard he wasn't in it that much. He was in it more than I expected, and every time he was on, I was like, man, this really feels like my shit. Um, the trailers and the movie, you see scenes in a nightclub. You probably guessed the name of the nightclub. I wasn't expecting to be able just even that, little things like that. Wasn't really expecting, because the more people say grim and gritty, realistic, mm, that means, oh, that just means in my head, okay, so we're never gonna get fill in the blank, Mr. Freeze, Clayface, whatever. The CG, you saw it too, yeah, awesome. CG, Robert Pattinson is your favorite Batman, yeah? I mean, it really is, and I don't think it's a spoiler to say he's younger. It's pretty much year two Batman, like so it lets him be imperfect. Um, it lets him just sort of be not as polished, I guess. Which generally, just for a movie, I'm not saying the Batman always needs to be the smartest guy. He needs to be 10 steps ahead. You know, if that's what you think, that he needs to be that extreme comic book, just perfect tactician at all times. This is not that, but it feels like oh, it could grow. This really does feel like it's setting a groundwork for more movies that can get you know it doesn't close itself off in ways that it doesn't have to. Like I love the Nolan movies, but man, the Nolan movies are kind of defined by like what they won't do. And you know what I'm saying? Um, Kendo says Sharmus was saying it was to New York, that the movie could have moved along a little faster. It was a more gothic city than I expected it to be throughout, everywhere. Um, Bruce Wayne's like living quarters, other buildings. Like if you've seen the clip of like that where that funeral is, that interior there, it's lots of big concrete, and also lots of ornate stonework and stuff like that. That feels pretty gothic, more gothic than I expected. It feels closer to Batman Begins, and then combined a little bit with like it's in the trailers, just shots of like the city that looks like kind of like Times Square, and it's just like overblown with tons of screens everywhere. Um, so they didn't. It didn't feel to me like they were trying to be too realistic. That was just yeah another thing. I was just relieved to just see the Gotham City, the parts that we saw. You know, it's not the scope of the movie's not huge. It happens in about a week. That that's not really a spoiler. It just it's not a huge scope, and it hints at a bigger periphery that they can fill in those blanks later, and it doesn't feel like they're just like putting themselves in a corner and not allowing themselves to uh, have fun with it. You know what I mean? Riddler, Dom Life saying Riddler's on par with that you've seen reviews that said Riddler's on par with Ledger's Joker. Very similar. Feels very similar. Just the way he's presented, and how. Um, well, I guess I can't say there's not. The Dark Knight lets itself shift perspectives a little bit more than this movie. As far as just like, I mean, I'm trying to word it properly, but also be vague. I don't know. I guess what I'm just saying is like you don't see much of Riddler's sort of internal life or like anything, beyond how he's moving the chess pieces forward very deliberately. But it's like I said, it just leaves itself open to explore more of the things that it's laying the groundwork for in the future. So I think it's a pretty strong entry, a pretty strong like first one. I mean, I don't think it's as good as Batman Begins personally, but there are a lot of elements about it that I like a lot more than Batman Begins. It just feels like the best Batman to me. Here's what I gotta. Here's how I gotta lay it on you. So Batman for my experience, I guess, since I was a kid, I was playing with like Toy Biz superpower stuff at the same time that I was watching the Michael Keaton movie in the theaters, and then I was coming home and I was playing with the toys, and the toys would be inspired by reruns of Adam West, right? So it's like Batman for me has been cherry picking these things that exist already, picking the best parts, you know, of it. Um, so when it comes to being like when people talk about definitive Batman, I just don't. I mean, definitive to me is just the head canon that I've always had, and I'm sure it's the same way for you. Just whatever have grown up with. Because then, like I said, I was watching Adam West, I was watching Michael Keaton, I was playing with Toy Biz superpowers, and then the animated series come out. I hadn't heard of Clayface until animated series. I hadn't heard of Ra's al Ghul until animated series. So there is no one definitive Batman in my opinion because many of them just decide what they can and can't show you or where how they're gonna present their fantastical elements. You know what I mean? So so this one's just good. It just gives itself more open potential. I feel like than Nolan gave himself. And I like the Nolan movies, but they were just he was very fixated on the um oh well he put and he's got pointy ears, but he actually puts a little sonar, a little audio amplifier in his ears and the tactile details of the reality of everything. So you know, Dunkel guy, you're into the Batmobile. Batmobile's awesome. Great Batmobile stuff. It's not. I'm just like the action. Um, sorry, El Mato was asking about the like physicality, the fights, and the combat and stuff. Um, it's like a combo of like really precise sort of stuff and then really messy too. You know, just like um, you feel like Batman could pretty much take any guy down, but he lets himself get surrounded by a lot of guys. You know, and he takes some hits and stuff. Hey, Fabi. Hey, Doug. What's up, buddy? How's it going, man? Doug, I know Doug's playing with that Dark Detective. That Dark Detective, I gotta tell you guys, the review's been out, but of all the new stuff lately, including Dark Knight Returns and what else? Uh, Endless Winter and Future State and this Batman movie stuff, I think this guy's my favorite dude the whole, like, all along. Among all those. So, yeah, the action is, I felt like there wasn't a ton of it. What was there was just really good. And it doesn't always just feel like the movie just stops for there to be some fighting. It just feels like it fits really well in with the story. And the story is really strong. The story is strong. The detective stuff really strong. The first hour of the movie to me felt like kind of like a De Palma movie, very like voyeuristic. Just the high society secrets and that kind of stuff. So it was good. It had that kind of grown up, realistic quality, combined with stuff that it wasn't realistic at all. So, hey Mac, no spoilers. No, spoiler free. Oh, CG Hunter. Are you walking me back off the ledge? Am I going too far? I'm gonna be pretty sensitive. I don't want to ruin anything for you. So if I talk about something, it'll be pretty. I'll try to be as sort of bird's eye view about it as possible. Because I don't want you guys to be like, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I guess to kind of use the example I just said, like about talking about Batman Begins. If I were to tell you that, okay, in Batman Begins, oh, he puts his bat ears. He puts a little audio amplifier in there. Is that a spoiler? I don't know. It's like it's 90 seconds of the movie, and it doesn't actually have particularly huge sort of plot based repercussions. So I'll try to police myself as well as I can. Yeah, El Mata, I don't think it's action heavy. There's definitely big action stuff in it for sure. Not Avengers big, not Into the World big, but just a little more grown up sort of scale. So I don't know. Yeah, the action that is there feels big and bombastic. While at the same time feeling very personal, and moving the story forward. It's it's a detective movie, but it's not like a movie where you are trying to put together the pieces. It's things are happening, pieces are being unfolded in different ways, by different people in unexpected ways, etc. Um, which is just it does a great job of just like moving the detective mystery story along, and then also laying the groundwork just for this sort of new Pattinson Matt Reeves universe without having to be an origin story and spend a ton of time. One of the things I loved about Batman Begins is that you end up like you spend so much time with Bruce Wayne and at least for me, like you didn't notice that it was happening. By the time he actually puts on the Batman suit, you're like, oh shit. I'm really invested in this Bruce Wayne stuff. So now the Batman. Oh yeah, that's secondary, I guess. You really caught me with those characters. This doesn't have that kind of thing. He's we start in media res. Yeah, right. He's got tech. He's got his you know Batcave that feels. I mean, it's in the trailers. Feels early. It feels like one guy, two guys. Have over time. Um, you know, turned that thing into some functioning capacity. Um, but yeah, again, I just keep like in a way that just didn't feel like it was setting the stage, and it felt like it could after this movie um, go in a lot of different directions and encompass a lot of different characters. Ones that I would, based on just the trailers and stuff, I wouldn't have expected to feel that way. I was my skepticism was based more on just like gritty realistic. To me that just sounds like you can't do Mr. Freeze. Dom life. Is it woke? It feels like year two or year one. I'm sorry, Frank Miller, year one. So I mean, feels like it's of the time that it was made in. It feels like year one. It doesn't feel like Dark Knight Returns. So as far as I don't know, social issues, not particularly heavy on that. Lee, um, I think next week we'll come back here next. I'll do it next Wednesday. I'll get back on the every Wednesday schedule, and um, we'll do all spoilers next Wednesday, and we can really get into it. I don't want anybody that's like that watches this archived live stream that's like watching in the background for me to all of a sudden start talking about spoilers like halfway through or something. Oh yeah, Dom life. No, yeah, no, I know what you meant. It's just not like yeah, what I was saying. It's not like social issues heavy particularly. Kendo Catwoman was really fantastic actually, and it was in it a lot more than I expected. It just showed more of her, as Selena Kyle and Catwoman that I expected. So it was just it was a way more fleshed out character than I thought it was going to be, and she was great, really great, and vital to the story, very very much so. Like so it was. I mean, as far as like, it felt to me like the most comic booky version of Catwoman that in live action. As far as like really being a cat burglar, being that having that sort of Frank Miller year one sort of background, backstory. Not exactly year one, but similarly, and similarly to Dark Knight Rises. You know what I mean? When you see her apartment and stuff, she's got bills due, that kind of thing. Oh, Christina, hey, thanks. Quick change, Bruce Wayne here is where I was making a big deal out of it at first, and then now I've totally forgotten that I'm even wearing it, and I look like a complete dweeb. Colin Farrell is my favorite part of the whole movie. Really, the Penguin really just to me represented like the potential for what more of these movies could look like in the future, and just how willing to be a little exaggerated and and comic booky, I guess, for lack of a better word. How long have we been going? 25 minutes here. I'm thinking I do want to get this guy out of here. I'm gonna wait a little bit longer, giving people more chance to jump on. Trying to think what I could tell you in a careful way. Yeah, El Mata, he just feels like he just feels like he fits in. He feels like he's a larger than life gangster. You know, it he just like it works. It works, and he just the way people talk about him in the movie before you see him in person and stuff, and it just kind of just feels like, oh yeah, this guy's like a I think he's a gangster. People know about him. He's not the biggest power player in the world, but he hangs out with you know in the same circles as the other big names that always get mentioned. Falcone and Maroni. There's plenty of names like that. Plenty of Long Halloween and other storyline. Those side characters that make frequent appearances that have never quite they've shown up in movies, but never quite felt like never quite felt like the way like Tim Burton did his gangsters. This almost feels a little bit like there's a Tim Burton-ness to the gangsters, which is just they're a little exaggerated. It's not they're not from a specific time period. It's not like that. It feels timeless. If anything, it just feels like this could be the '80s. This could be right now. Yeah, Dunkel guy. It was the long runtime didn't feel particularly long. There were a couple. The general structure has this sort of chaptery feeling. I felt like where the supporting characters will kind of come in for a bit, then they disappear and they come back again. Um, and basically kind of whatever side characters are prominent, uh, the movie kind of works to sort of match that character's vibe. So as the different characters weave in and out, it just feels like there's a lot of chapters. But I'm the runtime. It didn't feel like a long movie, and I've always thought that I've always said that The Dark Knight Rises would feel shorter if it was a half hour longer because the pacing's really not good. It doesn't. It tries to like have that really crisp, really cruising pacing that Dark Knight has. Um, and just the way that story is, it needs more time to breathe, and it needs more time to like. That movie's kind of like flipping the chessboard over several times throughout the course of the movie, and then it needs more time to like rest in those and allow there to be new status quos as the stuff unfolds. You know what I mean? So the 3 hours it wasn't an issue. I think Dark Knight Rises should have been 3 hours and probably would have felt like a more complete movie. Yo, what's up, man? What's up, backyard legend? How's it going, buddy? Backyard legend, are you caught up with all your new acquisitions there? Derby Gaming, you liked it? Oh, LB man, I made this. This is just a turtleneck that I drew on with puff paint to get the quick change Bruce Wayne look just right. You guys got any specific vague questions that you can think about? I want to be able to tell you as much as I can while telling you as little as humanly possible. Yeah. So I think I can probably. Oh yeah, B-Man. Yeah, no spoilers, but the Batmobile reveal in the movie sound was incredible. It really was. Yeah, the Batmobile is dope. Um, not much of this. Sorry, if not much. Yeah, Derby Gaming is a film you wouldn't take kids to. Definitely pretty dark. There's definitely one F word, right? Dom Life, you're definitely gonna go now. I think you're gonna have a good time, man. I mean, I don't know what your particular, we all have a different particular hangups, right? We all have our head canon favors different aspects of the many different versions of Batman that all exist and all have something to like. I don't know. I could find something to like in the stupidest like babies, Batman stuff. I can find stuff to like in Snyder's stuff. I like a lot of the Snyder stuff, even though I'm not a huge Snyder fan. But yeah, Extera the Snyder's Justice League is more kid friendly than this Batman. I agree. This was it does turn into a horror movie like multiple times. The Riddler's impact is felt in the just tone of the movie. The way I was talking about how the different characters kind of weave in and out, and the movie goes from goes from gangster movie to um, stealthy um, thriller, De Palma esque, to horror movie. It's really good. It really delivered. I'm looking forward to seeing it again. Looking forward to really being able to. It's hard to take it all in one sitting, especially a movie that's 3 hours long. I definitely saw a few little Easter eggs, and I'm sure there's many more. Yeah. Oh yeah. LB man. I'm not gonna. This is not a spoiler. We were all wrong about this. That's it. That's all I'm saying. We were all wrong. Yeah, Dom Life. Yeah, we're probably about the same age. Yeah. I always say, the appeal of Batman is he's so malleable and he can work in so many different ways. You know what I mean? If you do a Spider-Man story and it's always set during Jack the Ripper, is it going to really work? Is it going to fit the way Batman would just fit? And you can do the baby stuff, and you can. Oh, well, yeah, we saw a trailer for the League of Super Pets, and it was a Pixar esque uh, Batman for babies, and it looked kind of cute. Lego Batman movie is awesome, right? That's the great thing about Batman. So, and Dom Life, we're about the same age. And if I'd been a few years younger and grew up instead with Batman Beyond instead of Batman the Animated Series, I would probably right now be like, oh, Batman Beyond is the best one. That's my shit. That's what I came up with. Dom Life, you ordered a Keaton Batman fig from a cereal box offer. Had a hook belt part that was retractable. I don't know if it was the same one. I got this one. Uh, yeah, I remember that Batman cereal. I don't know if was the exact fig. This was the Toy Biz. Or is this? Wow, now I'm having a mental block here. This is still Toy Biz. Yeah, Kinner had no knees. This is Toy Biz. Whew. This is the one, yeah. This was a great thing about this era. The capes could come off. So if one of your capes on your guy on like your favorite guy because you play with them all the time and got all hogged up and stuff, you just swap another one out. Hell yeah. Scott Knight, you grew up with the Teen Titans 2003 series. Yeah, so probably a lot of the things that are like the canon of that show are probably elements of your own head canon because that just makes the most sense to you. Christina, you grew up on the 2004 series and the tail end of the new Batman Adventures and the first Arkham game. Yeah, see, that's awesome. Yeah, see, I mean, there's always cool new takes on Batman to like have warm opinions about. They don't all have to. I don't need them all. I'm not chasing this definitive thing. You know, there's things I like about the Nolan. You'd have a hard time calling that definitive. You know what I mean? Just because his universe is he made the box smaller. He made the toy box smaller. Yeah, dude. Backyard Legend. We're both old, man. I'm old too. Should we open this guy up? We're going for half an hour. What do you think? You guys want to see this? Do I have all? Actually, I don't even. I don't have Drifter and I don't have Riddler anymore because I swapped the legs out. So I might have to turn this Riddler into Drifter leg Riddler. Harvey Dent, what's up? You grew up with Justice League and Justice League Unlimited. Yeah. So yeah, Batman and Wonder Woman together, that makes sense to you. Yeah. All right, we're doing it. I definitely, after seeing that movie, like all of these toys a lot more. After just kind of seeing, and even Catwoman, because I wasn't real uh, sold on this outfit here at first. Um, and I don't think they nailed the look. After I haven't seen the movie, I don't think they nailed the look. I think it looks a lot better in motion. Tay grew up with Keaton, but your personal favorite was Ben Affleck's take on him. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Affleck's not one of my favorite, but I can't deny that he had one of the best, most classic in my head sort of looks for the bat suit. Oh yeah, hang on, we gotta smell it. Smells good. I wish you guys could smell it because he's got a lot of that soft rubbery material on that big jacket. Oh yeah. Christino, is the 2007 one the CG animated one? Yo, Jazaro, what is up? Dom Life, you didn't like Burton's Penguin? Yeah, I mean, I like him, but he's not at all. Does not resemble anything that I think of when I think of the Penguin, at all. But Black Mantle, hey, thanks, man. Yo, D Sniper, what's up? I'm Quick Change Bruce Wayne. Let me grab this. Yeah, Dom Life was saying didn't like Tim Burton's Penguin. I mean, this is the one I grew up playing with. You know what I mean? So I was playing with Keaton Batman, and he was, taking on this Penguin. The canon was just whatever I picked. I would pick and choose what my favorite aspects were from each one. I had the Keaton Batmobile, but you best believe every time he sat in the car and drove out of the Batcave, that I had a little thing that would flip down, like Adam West style, because I saw that in the show and I was like, oh, I'm stealing that for my guys, you know. And then like, I had the Nintendo NES Batman game, the '89 Batman game. And in that game, one of the things you can do is you can kind of wall jump. You can double jump off of walls. After I played that game, that was a new move that my Batman could do. So we're piecing together this like our head canon, from the get go. Like we're the definitive one, that this idea of the definitive Batman that maybe we're chasing. Whatever's in your head, that's fine. That's yours, man. It's accurate. It's good. It all works. Take what you like, leave what you don't like. Oh yeah, this guy looks awesome. Actually, out of the box, he looks better. I think. Um, Looking at him now like this, I'm tempted to say he's one of the best looking ones. Frankly, that light's a little hot. That's him. Yeah, Dom Life. You're saying that we're getting into the territory where the movies are becoming like the comic books with several different versions. Pretty much, I'm not mad. Yeah, totally. And that was sort of my what I was very relieved to be taking away from this new one. With that, oh, okay, man, you guys were trying to sell me on gritty, realistic, and that just made me think like, oh, we're never gonna get the comic stuff. I was wrong. I was wrong about that. This feels like a lot of comic stuff. Some of it, man, especially the last hour of the movie, they're making some pretty big decisions. The people making the movie were making some big decisions. I mean, about um, what this version of Batman was going to include, and I was impressed. I was like, whoa, I can't believe they're doing that. You guys were telling me gritty, realistic this whole time. I just thought that meant that you know. No, Christina, no umbrella. That was kind of a missed opportunity there. It feels like he does have extra hands. I'll put him on in a minute. D Sniper saying, for you, Penguin's always been a short-statured gangster with a Napoleon complex. My favorite version of him is the one from the Arkham games. Yeah, this one, he's not short-statured, but he does feel like he's coming from a place where he would maybe like to be big, higher on the totem pole. He's got a pretty cushy, but there's guys above him too. Yeah, hey Mac, I gotta smell this stuff, man. Black Mantle saying Keaton Batman was the most sadistic Batman by far. I had to have the highest body count, right? The Keaton one. Bizarro, yeah, but it really was the best Penguin. Colin Farrell, the Penguin, really, I think, was probably my favorite part of the movie. Just the way they did it, the makeup was unreal. There was maybe one shot in the whole thing where maybe it looked like a makeup effect, but the rest of the thing was unbelievable. You could kind of feel Colin Farrell under there a little bit a couple times, just the way he would say things and stuff. But it was really impressive, especially because so much of it is like this close to his face. Like it's that extensive prosthetic makeup stuff that they didn't try to hide with camera work or anything. D Sniper, did I watch Ahsoka the Geeks live stream with McFarlane? No, was there anything noteworthy? I'll have to watch that after I get off of here. Any good like multiverse stuff? Yeah, Penguin an Umbrella does really feel like like a missed opportunity with this guy. He's got good movement though. Looks pretty cool. I just wish they would do for the live action characters. I just wish they would have the same. Let me see here. What can I compare it to? I mean, like even this Spawn one, right? It's pretty exaggerated comic booky. You know how the textures look on this thing. Like I wish they would put some of that on here. I don't know why it just doesn't. I mean, like if you look at those Stranger Things figures from a few years back, those were incredible, and they had a ton of paint on them, and they had amazing photorealistic portraits and sculpts. They're just not making the stuff like that anymore. The stuff doesn't have enough paint on it to look photorealistic. Oh, they're doing page punchers for Spawn, not just DC. Man, I was real stoked for a minute about those page punchers, and then they're not even real 3.75 scale. That's just disappointing. I mean, they'll be fun little guys to have. You know what I mean? Um, but yeah, I was pretty stoked to be able to have that 4-inch scale. You know? Yeah. Thanks for letting me know about that, D. I hadn't watched that. I think I had seen his Instagram post that he was going to do it, but I didn't realize that it happened. I've been in like hardcore review mode. I've got reviews queued up for a new one every day until next Wednesday, and I'm still not through everything. I still, even though I just got this guy out, I'll record a real review for him. Oh, I really got to put this hand on him. That is what we need. And then I still haven't found Gotham Knights Batgirl, and and I'm gonna do a end next week, probably next Friday or Saturday. I'm gonna have a new ranking video out. Feel free to speculate about what the next ranking video will be, but I don't know if any of you will guess correctly. AMAC, you're saying Spin Master does 4-inch scale. Probably why McFarlane couldn't do the page puncher that size. Yeah, that makes sense, I guess. But Dom Life, I think Jace Fox is next. I think he's coming out tomorrow. That review. Pretty cool. Actually, you know what, Dom Life? This is the Jace Fox. I'll give you a real quick hint at what the next ranking video is going to be. Oh, Xterra, you know what? I ordered the Gotham Knights Batgirl also, and what I got was an artist proof one. So I wanted to just order another one, but sometimes I feel I've seen people post that like, oh, they got an artist proof, so they ordered another one. They got another artist proof. So I was hoping maybe if I just waited a little bit and maybe maybe it's the distribution center is stacked up with a bunch of these artist proofs or something, and that they're going out. And I was trying to see if maybe if I could increase my chances of getting a painted one by just waiting a little longer. That was my logic. Who knows? Top 10. It'll be a top 10. It'll be a top 10. It's not going to be the most extensive ever. It's just going to be top 10. I like this guy. I could tell he's Well, I mean, I don't know, man. This soft material that they're using it is really starting to be very stretchy and very thick. You know, they come out with this stuff, and sometimes you get it, and you're like, man, why did they use a thicker material for this, or why did they make it so thin, or why did they do this? It generally, to my eyes, it feels like they're experimenting. So I end up giving them a pass, even though sometimes it's like, is this the right stuff? You guys have used better stuff, so why aren't you using it for every figure? Well, I can tell that they're trying to improve, and the improvements are coming. They're happening. So I can't be too upset about it. Christina, he was referring to really obscure or not as popular characters. He kept using Mr. Miracle as reference. Was that Todd was talking about that? So, like, was he saying like he doesn't want to do? He's nervous to do them, or was he saying he? What was he saying? This guy's pretty cool. I have a hard time keeping live action figures for very long. Tend to use them as trade fodder, or sometimes I'll try to, I like to sell it as a lot and kind of, make room in that way. Not definitely not, definitely not getting rich on them. I don't, if anybody's getting rich off of toys, I don't know how they're doing it. I don't have that much hustle in me. Black Mantle. I think they're talking about the Ahsoka the Geek did a live stream with Todd, and uh, just in the past day or two. I haven't watched it yet myself. Oh, Todd was saying he would want to try to put some characters like that in the DC Direct line. Interesting. But with that, so I'm curious though. Does anybody know, like, that DC Direct line? Are they going to be made in the same way that the DC Direct figures were made? Like, have those same style of Dom Life? Hey, yeah, definitely check out the movie, bud. You're going to be happy. I think we'll talk about it next week. Yeah, that's interesting. I think, well, actually, it was Vaughton was the one that noticed it. That there's an exclusives page, landing page on the McFarlane Toys online store. There's nothing on it, but there's an exclusives page, which is promising. Maverick, how's it going? You're just starting to collect McFarlane? Well, if you're going back, if you're starting right now with the stuff that's out right now, or if you're going back and you're trying to hunt stuff down from the past year or so, I've got a bazillion reviews, man. Um, if you're trying to make your choices wisely, I would personally suggest not trying to get every single thing because their release schedule is just too busy. There's just too much stuff, and I don't think you need it all. And if if you're trying to be a completist, that's by all means go crazy. But if you're just trying to put together the teams you want or the style that you want, if you like Injustice and you want to just get the Injustice characters, etc. Anyway, I got a lot of reviews. Um, Feel free to peruse. Dunkel guy, hey, thanks for hanging out. I'll catch you next week. We'll do the spoiler version. Yeah, Maverick, I would be selected too. Just take your time, because man, they're just bringing us so many figures right now, and you don't need to burn yourself out. Black Mantle, you keep getting fig pruning and planting vids on your feed. Hey, your algorithm is your own. If you're getting those ads, then that means it thinks you want to see them. Not I'm not in big garden big garden's pocket, man, sending you those fig pruning ads. Sky Knight, yeah, that unmasked Batman, he's a bundle exclusive too. So if you think about that, that's going to end up being the unmasked Zurin Ra is going to be probably one of the rarest figures, maybe in the multiverse line. It's going to be a online store bundle exclusive, which means only people that are paying however much, $70 plus shipping for 3, 4 figures, are going to get that, which is brutal for anybody that wants to get that. But it might be, I don't know. I don't know those of you that are out there that are trying to, you know, pay for the kids' college or whatever with your stuff that you've got saving for future investments. That one, it might be one to scoop up. If you're thinking about eBay, not. Yeah, El Monte you can barely keep up, especially trying to get other older non DC stuff as well. It's all coming really fast. Yeah, yeah. Don't burn yourself out. Don't put yourself in a place where you're gonna be stressing about it. It's not worth it for that. I mean, like I said, for me, the past like 3, 4 waves, if I could only get one figure, I'd get Dark Detective. All right. So if I got that theoretically, if I wasn't doing this channel and I was maybe had a more normal like relationship with uh, collectibles, and I wasn't picking everything up, I would just get this guy and probably be stoked for a few months until something maybe that really intrigued me, came out. Yeah, Amanta. Actually, it's our good friend Vaughton is the one who's saying he keeps telling me that he thinks when Todd renews the DC Multiverse license, which would be like at the end of this year because he has it for 3 years, when he inevitably renews it because he'll get it renewed because he's like the best selling toy line right now. The old figures will probably become more expensive on secondary markets and stuff because now people that have been on the fence and being like, Todd, he's going to crash and burn. I'm not going to get into that. Then all of a sudden they're going to be like, this is going to be the norm for the next few years. So Main Tower, how's it going? Oh, you got one of those Batman too. You got the inverted torso. Yeah, you know what? And I was in such a rush when I found that big shipper pallet at Walmart and got all those figs in one go. They had some Batman. I didn't even check them. I didn't even check to see if they were the wonky ones with the weird cowl, the unmasked cowl and stuff. Doug just picked up his third Dark Detective. Yeah, yeah, it's that good. It really is. Oh yeah, you're right, AMAC. That unmasked Damian Wayne is an exclusive, and I think it is a bundle, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Yeah, Maverick, you get Legends too. Yeah, that's a Legends is its own thing. And if you collect Legends, what do you collect? Do you collect the movie ones? Do you collect the comic ones? You got to pick and choose. Otherwise, I mean, otherwise you go broke or you go crazy. One or the other. Black Mantle, I mean, I do like Vic Newton, so yeah, it might have been a subconscious thing when creating the Avatar, the from before creature. Yeah, Almata. I don't. I mean, I don't know. This is purely speculative, but it does make sense. I wouldn't be surprised. Not to stress you out. Don't stress about this toy stuff, guys. Hey, Sinji, what's up? Personally, I prefer Three Jokers Batman over Rebirth. I mean, objectively, Rebirth is the better figure by far. But just personal taste, that the Three Jokers Batman is more closer to what that those Keaton details. Obviously, I'm a Keaton fan. I'm here dressed as Quick Change Bruce Wayne. Christino, I don't think Darkseid fits in that Luthor throne. It's not as big as you think. Hang on one second, I'll grab it for you. This thing's pretty small, and I was like, the one I was really trying to do, I mentioned in the review, I think, that I was trying to put Zod in here. I thought this cape was going to come off of Zod. I might end up doing a custom where I could, or just cut the cape off. I mean, if you call that doing a custom, just cutting the cape off. You'd have to lose the cape, but man, he would be awesome in there. I mean, maybe you make it work with the cape. I don't think it looks wonderful, but this is a normal 7-inch guy. That Darkseid's too big. Yeah, D Sniper. Yeah, nobody's got space. I don't have space for a collection that big. Do you? This is basically what you're looking at right here with these two IKEA cabinets, and then there's some shelves above that. There's those up there that aren't totally stocked right now. I got a little bit more wall space that I'd like to put just some more like basically floating shelves like this, just to give myself a little bit more surface area to put stuff. You know what I mean? Sky Knight, you were gonna do a custom Sky Knight. Did you see that new Spawn that's coming out with the throne? Because he comes without a cape on. So that one might actually be a good one to look at, and you wouldn't have to permanently alter anything. Yeah, Doug, you did the torso modded. I that would really improve this. That was just kind of the biggest thing when I was reviewing this guy, and I was seeing him next to some of these other figures that just like have really tremendous articulation range, and this guy was kind of a little stiff compared to those. Everything else about him is really cool. The detail, and yeah, this review is coming up tonight at midnight. Ninja Spawn looks pretty rad. He sure does have a lot of details that need paint, huh? But a really cool looking look. Pretty stoked on that next Spawn wave. The you know what, that overkill does not look good, guys. Doesn't look good. Looks very big. And some of the details on them look pretty good, but it just you can tell it's like unpainted. That soft rubbery plastic that on his armor, that overkill, where it just like it's not holding the detail right, and it doesn't have any paint on it, so it just looks really not stoked on that. I was never a big Overkill fan in the first place. Really, I guess. I never bought him back in the day. I mean, I was pretty young. I didn't have money to get every single guy that came out, and then it was add on to that that most of the time I was finding Spawn stuff would be in comic shops and stuff, so they would be even more expensive than regular retail. Yeah, I mean, guys, like, I mean, take his legs into account there too. Pretty good. Pretty good. Curious, really curious though. I mean, how these things look in a few years. Somebody else commented on one of the videos on one of my reviews. It was like, yeah, I wonder what these are going to look like in a few years. And it's a good question because there's so much soft rubber material. Did I put this down too far? All right. Anybody got any other questions about some of these recent releases? I got a bunch of stuff back here with reviews that aren't out yet. I mean, this is coming next week. This is coming this weekend. I think Sunday. Let me think. What day is it? Thursday. Tomorrow is Sunday. And this is Wednesday. Yeah, D Sniper. I do believe it is the lack of like blackwash on that Overkill. It just looks like completely flat plastic and none of the sculpted details. Looks like there's a ton of really cool sculpt in there with his nasty skin and his sort of cybernetic zombie head kind of coming out from that neck and stuff, but it doesn't look like you can see any of them because of the way there's no paint on it. This is another huge winner from recently, by the way. And I'll show you one of my favorite thing is about it. Now, I didn't even realize it could do this until after I recorded the review. So you're getting some real privileged information here. This cape, it's not attached to the shoulders. You just peg it in here. So if you want to give him some like real extra flair, bro, you kidding me? Awesome. Christina, no, it's not a wired cape in that year too. It's just a cloth cape with no wire. Main tower, yes. The horse does feel very cheap plastic, but it does have some heft. It doesn't feel hollow, at least, but it doesn't feel like that real like premium grade sort of stuff. Oh, D, I don't have Rebirth Superman anymore. No, I'm sticking to Wave 1 is kind of my. Maverick, you ordered the old Bane Build-A-Fig with the Scarecrow on his back off of eBay. Did you? I hope you got a good price on it because I love that Bane and Scarecrow combo. Hang on a second. So I just recently took Scarecrow off for the first time because I put him inside that Batmobeast. People were way too hard on this Bane, guys. Like, this Bane's awesome. And actually, I feel like when you take the Scarecrow off, he actually looks better. It's cool having him perched up there, but the big prominent sort of design feature here is these big shoulders and just how that huge this line right here. And Scarecrow ends up kind of hiding it a bit too much. This Bane's dope. Once we have like Clayface and Man Bat and Killer Croc and stuff next to this guy, it's gonna be awesome. Oh, I got to tell you this, guys. Here's I finally figured out what I'm gonna do with all of these things. I have so many of these. You guys have so many of these, right? You end up you get a bunch of these McFarlane figures. You end up with a lot of these, right? So here's what I'm going to do. I've got reviews scheduled out through middle of next week at least. So it'll be after those come out that I'm going to start doing this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do every video I do now from now on, review or live stream or whatever. I'll get like a gold Sharpie or whatever, and I'm going to write the username of a frequent commenter, and then we'll just add this to, like, eventually I'll put them all in we'll just do like a wall of fame, I'll figure out a way to have them all displayed, and then I'll be able to give you guys shout outs, and we can have a little fun with these and finally do something with them, right? Yeah, D-Sniper. I mean, there's so many of them, and it's just, you can't, because of the pegs, you can't like stack them flat or anything. You know what I mean? So like storing them in a way that feels like it's not like they're a pain in the ass. So that's what I'm going to start doing from now on. It'll probably be next Wednesday's live stream. Will be the first one that I do, because I know I have a gold Sharpie somewhere, but of course I can't find it right now. The one time that I'm looking for it, Black Mantle. You think Frost King looks like an older Lobo? Yeah, actually, yeah, with the face paint and everything. Yeah. What's Lobo's race? All right, we've been cruising for about an hour and 15. I think we'll probably start winding down. You guys got any other non-spoilery questions about Batman? I want to tell you as much as I possibly can. Tried to cover as much as I could that just sort of came to mind. I don't want to give you guys more info than you want to know going in. That's for sure. This guy's cool, actually. I like it. The penguin was my favorite part. That's where I'm at. I'm just, I'm a little annoyed. Like, his arms. If a character has a tie, I want him to be able to pose them like they're holding it, and his arms don't quite do that. I wish you could have him holding the sort of lapels of his jacket or something like that. Like, hey, I'm a wise guy. That kind of pose. Let's see if he balances. How's he balance? Balancing has been a real inconsistent sort of thing lately. I feel like some of the characters are really, really well balanced. Others have a heck of a time. I've seen other people talk about, and actually I agree with them that maybe the spaces between the ratchets of some of the ankles doesn't quite space quite right. Um, what was I? Oh, or yeah, and like, man, this horse doesn't have any foot pegs. I would hopefully be able to put this guy on like these because I'm gonna be putting this horse into some pretty ambitious sort of balance poses. It'd be nice to be able to rely on those little stands a little bit since they send them to us with every figure. Sky Knight, what? Hey, you're hunting the new stuff down. What are you looking for exactly? What's your what's at the top of your list? Yeah, Decipher. I do have. I've got a mix of some of those too. I got DC Spawn, Warhammer, maybe a couple Warhammer and whatever. So I'll try to. If you got a preference, I'll try to give you a chance to pick if you want a specific one. You know what I mean? Yeah, D Sniper. Yeah, I'm feel the same way. I do buy a lot of McFarlane stuff, and then when I do find accumulate some things, and I'm like, I'd be okay with parting with this stuff. I can sell it, and I when I sell stuff on eBay, I tend to be okay like taking a loss. I kind of just want to price it to sell. If I lose a few bucks, that's all right. I got a little bit of playtime about it. Now I could do a review about it, so all right. If I take a little bit of a hit, that's fine. I got some enjoyment out of it. But I'm definitely not trying to just be swimming in these things. I just don't have the space for it. And that's when I lose my grasp on like the size of stuff and having places and being able to enjoy everything, that's when I start to, like I said, get less enjoyment out of it. That's generally the trend. That's when the collecting behavior, maybe needs needs a reassessment. Need to just pump the brakes. But I don't, like I said, I walk by these things all the time, every day, and I pick them up and I do stuff with them and stuff. So I don't feel that bad about it. Like I do get the like playtime out of these and stuff, and I really do spend time with them. And if I'm not, then that's a strong contender for that one. Okay, maybe should go somewhere else. Yeah, AMAC. That was my thought. Kind of like I use them. I use them frequently. I don't use them for every. I figure when they can stand on their own, I don't want to give them one. But if they need it, it's great to have it. But it's just inevitable that you end up accumulating a lot. And given that every single review I do is going to mean another one, you might as well start doing some with them. No, I think it'll be fun. I got to figure out what's going to be the sort of eventual display. How do I attach them to something where it's not really going to be. You know what I'm saying? Is a thing where it hangs down. It's rows, kind of, probably. We'll see. But I don't have to figure that out right away. I can still just start doing this and putting people's names on them, and I put them on a pile, and then once I have enough of them, we'll put a little wall of fame together. All right, guys. I think it's time to start winding it down. We'll come back here next week, Wednesday, next time, and we'll go all spoilers. Give you guys a chance to see it. Give us all a chance to think about it and figure out what our favorite parts were and what we did and didn't like. And any final thoughts? I'm gonna leave it open for you guys for a minute or two. If you want to get any final remarks in. All right, gang. Thank you for. Oh, you blackmailed. Wait, she hates these. Yeah, they're annoying. They're like, you see how I have them in here. There's no way to do it. Yeah. D Sniper. Yeah. See you next time. Same bat time. Same bat channel. Different bat time next week. Wednesday. But probably approximately the same time of the day, around 1 p.m. Eastern. Tends to work out on my end. Maverick, thanks for watching. Good luck with your collecting. Morky Moose. Oh, you're just now joining. Morky, I'm just now signing off, man. But the archive one will be here for you to watch. Yeah, Morky, you know what? I'll do this one more time since you're on here. I was just talking. I finally found out what I'm going to do with these. Here's what I'm going to do. In every video I do now, whether it's a review, a live stream, whatever, at the end of the video, I'm going to write the name of a frequent commenter, in gold or silver or white Sharpie, whatever. And then we'll put together eventually over time. We'll have a little wall of fame of all you guys. Give all you guys shout outs and find a little reason to repurpose these into something fun. So that's the plan. All right, everybody, thanks for watching. Cheers, AMAC. AMAC, yeah, I'll get you a DC one. Most of them will be DC because that's what I have the most of. But yeah, no, El Mata, I don't have the Dune one figures. I passed up on a McFarlane store sale that I could have got them all for a real low price, but I passed. All right, gang. Thanks for hanging out and watching. I'll talk to you guys next week. And like I said, reviews for the next, I've got reviews coming, new one every day until Wednesday, next Wednesday at least. And the streak will probably continue because I still got stuff to go. So thanks, guys. I'll talk to you all soon. Bye.